Hi everybody, this is Jimmy Shaw. Thank you for clicking on my video today. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below for any other tips, drills, or any other type parts of the game that you want me to cover. If you want me to help you with your game, you can find me at these two locations, and the links are in the description. Again, thank you, and I hope you enjoy this video. Today I'm going to go over what is probably the most requested skill that I get asked by students to be taught, and that is how to compress an iron. Now, there are a lot of things that go into compressing an iron, so I'm not going to try to touch every single one of them. We're just going to do what I think is the foundation to compressing an iron. Now, I've got my launch monitor out, and I've got two numbers that really are going to make the biggest difference. Now, there are a lot of numbers that I use when I'm teaching, but when we're talking about compressing an iron, these two really stick out. That's angle of attack and low point distance. Now, through the bag, those numbers are not going to be the same. For a 60-degree wedge, I'm going to want a more negative attack. So kind of, 5, 6, right around in there. As I get into like a 7-iron, it's going to start getting closer to 0. To when I get to maybe a 4-iron, it's almost at 0. Now with low point, it's the same thing. The number is going to change and how far ahead of the ball that you hit. However, we don't want the letter after the numbers to be anything but A. I always want to be ahead of the ball. So when I'm teaching students to do this, and if you are working with somebody and they're not touching on this, or you aren't working with somebody, please reach out. I'd love to help you try to figure this out, because once you do get it, it's one of the best feelings, and probably one of the best skills that you can learn in the game is how to compress the golf ball. So whenever I'm teaching somebody how to compress the golf ball, I actually do first start in the backswing. If you've ever seen any of my videos before, you know I'm big into coiling into my trail side, getting that energy stored up, getting turned behind the ball. And it's no different here when we're trying to compress the golf ball. It's very difficult to compress a ball when you never get over into your trail side. If you're just sitting here in your lead side, more often than not, what you're going to be doing on the downswing is yes, going forward, but then you're going to come backwards because you want to see the back of the ball. Even though we're trying to hit into the back of the ball and hit ahead of it, we still kind of want to see it subconsciously. So that movement of being on top, more often than not, we're going to fall backwards. So job one is to get loaded and coiled properly into our trail side. Okay. Now, number two, and this is really going to play a big role in the low point distances. Now we've got to get that pressure into our lead side, and we've got to have our momentum going forward. We've got to make sure that we're going forward to get ahead of the golf ball. If we just stay, and I tell people this is like getting caught in an elevator shaft. If you get caught in an elevator shaft, all you're going to do is go up and down. People will go back and they actually try to get to the low point by going straight down. Well, I go vertical at some point. I've gone down, I'm going to go back up. And when I go back up, I can't compress it. And that's when we hit behind it, and that's when that attack angle will be either at 0 or even positive with an iron. Instead, let's get into our lead side. Let's anchor. Let's get that pivot, and then we're going to pivot off of it. That will create a downward strike ahead of the golf ball. Okay? I see a lot of people, they'll sit there and try to hold this angle. Well, that's fine. That'll probably say negative. That'll probably say ahead, but you're going to create the shanks. Let's not do that either. We want to be able to release the ball, release the club through the ball, but past it. Make sure that that low point is past it. So in this swing, I'm going to make sure that I get behind the ball on the backswing, get into my front foot, and see what happens. There we go. That's pretty good for me. You'll see guys that are a little bit more steeper, kind of the John Rahms, the Scotty Schefflers, those type of players take a little bit thicker divots. Those numbers are going to be a little bit higher, and that's fine. I'm still ahead of it. You can see the A, -3, not too bad. So I'm happy with those numbers. I compress the ball doing that. So when you're trying to compress the ball, We've got to get our attack angle at negative, and we've got to get that low point ahead of the golf ball. Again, if you're not doing this and you're having trouble figuring it out, please reach out. I've got all my links in the description. We can get it taken care of. But first, start in the backswing. Make sure you're getting loaded into that back foot. Make sure we're getting our pressure shifted into our lead foot, getting that anchored so we can get some pressure into it, pivot off of, and forcing our momentum through the ball so that when we release it, the lowest part of our swing is ahead of the ball on a downward trajectory.